Alright y'all, so welcome back to another one. So I have made the drive down to Tennessee. Took me about 4 hours, and I'm here with Josh with Different Breed Lures. You guys know I started working with Different Breed Lures this year, and he's mixing up rubber right now, and we are going to make you a brand new bait that he's got. What are we calling this?
This, you know, we haven't released the name of it yet. Nobody really has it yet. We have something in mind that's going to be a big surprise, more than just naming a bait, but I don't think your customer base has anything to do with my wife's family. But my wife is pregnant, and we're wanting to kind of name it after the kid, but we don't know if it's a boy or girl yet. We're hoping it's a boy, and it should be named Sandman. If it's a boy, if it's a girl, we'll have to restart. So I don't know.
Well, anyway, I'll give you guys a look. It's this awesome looking paddle tail. We're actually going to fish it tomorrow on Real Foot. Super excited about it. But what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to show you guys the process of actually making this bait. It's a really cool process. I've never really been around it. Josh is a pro at it, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let him do his thing, and he can narrate it if he wants. If he doesn't want to, whatever. But I think you guys will enjoy this part.
You'll have to forgive the mess. We've been up here working all day long. Haven't had time to clean yet, but basically right now we're just cooking down the raw material. It starts out as a milky substance. Basically just looks like milk, and when we cook it down into a liquid and then to a solid, then to a liquid again, then we can add our color and our flake, and we can get as creative as we want with it. And today we're doing a mix between our two most popular colors and putting them into one bait, and we're going to see what happens.
Alright, so this is the mold here. Obviously a two-piece mold there. Put them together and shoot them in. That's what you're looking like. And it's a two-stage mold. He's going to shoot the body first, and then he's going to shoot the tail.
Oh, I guess I could have used this right here. This is the exact color we're going for. A very bright fluorescent purple with a lot of big green flake. That's our original June bug. And then we're going to put our original, one of our original blends of chartreuse we called Whole Curin as the tail, and it just makes a real pretty bait. But we're going to mix up that tail, or the body mold right now. So this is it's ready to mix today. It's right around 350 to 360 degrees. It's a very hot, crystal clear substance, and we're going to start manipulating it a little bit. And I don't typically go by a lot of recipes when we're just running small molds like this, just because the chef doesn't go by recipe either.
I heard that.
So that's the color we want, but it's a little too transparent. So we're going to add a little more. You can get real creative up here and play with pearls all day long. I can get lost up here.
Like a mad scientist.
You know what? We are going to put a little bit of pearl in this just to have a little fun. I've not used this one before. Give it a bit of a purplish blue interference to it. Alright, now it's a little bit more solid like we were looking for. Time to add the flake. Whoa, that's never too much. When it comes to green flake, I'm not scared to put too much in there. It's always good looking. Alright, now here's the final color we got. We can even take a little bit more green flake if we want it in there, and we will. I'm going to heat it up for about another 30 seconds and we'll go ahead and shoot it. She's nice and warm, ready to go. We're probably sitting a little hotter than normal up there, I'd say around 360, 370 degrees. It's just a great big old syringe. You make sure you get all the air out just like a syringe. And then come over here and just push it in the top of the mold. Now you'll feel a little bit of back pressure when you get there. You want me to hold that and you can do the other one? Okay.
You're the pro. I've never done
Before you leave Tennessee, you need to sit up here and just create something. Someone's first attempt is always awesome. I'll just say, hey, use whatever and just figure it out, and it's usually pretty cool. Now we'll let that cool and set up, and we'll put those bodies into here and we'll shoot the tails on. If any of you guys also pour plastics, I'm going to show you one of my best color recipes. I'm not going to explain it in detail, but just a very liberal amount of chartreuse. Mix it in, make a standard chartreuse. And this color is very, very simple, and it's a very effective color in almost any shade of water. So right there in chartreuse, just by that alone, you have a wonderful color. And then we're going to go ahead and do something that never hurts and add a ton of silver flake. Silver creates a nice little flash in the water, and fish have never really, they like flash. That's why they hit your spinnerbaits, your rooster tails, and things like that. So we're going to load it up with way more flake than it looks like we should have. Take a second to stir that in, and it's going to change that color to a different shade of green. And sometimes that's all it takes. Other times, if it doesn't get to the shade of green that I like, I will go ahead and add a couple drops of a more of a neon green, but this looks good enough to me. This one's actually going to be a little heavy on the flake. Last time I did this color, it was out of the machine, but this is actually probably going to turn it even better.
That was cool.
We're going to roll with that. I ain't even going to do what I was originally going to do. That's a nice looking color. It doesn't take long to get it to where it needs to be to open it up. But this is our body mold, and it just does nothing but shoot a ton of little bodies. And these come off pretty quickly. You can basically just grab a handful of them and tear them off, and then you got plenty of little bodies to put in the mold. But we're going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to pluck all these and put them in place. Felt like it shot good. Now guys, this is only the third time I've ever shot this mold. This is a brand new mold for us, and I'm still working up the kinks with it, and I have not even got to fish it yet, and that's one of the reasons you came down, was to help us test her out and get you out on Reelfoot. So, alright, we'll go ahead and open this though. See if I can do it somewhat presentable. Oh! Yeah, we're fishing that. That is a good looking bait. That makes me happy. This is zombie shad. The tail color wasn't the exact color we're going for, but honestly I think it turned out a little bit better for the water that we're going to be fishing. And that's one of the reasons I don't go by recipes when we're doing it on the smaller scale, is because had we not messed this up, we wouldn't have found this little gem the way it is.
I hope the camera is doing that justice, because that is sick looking, man.
And I couldn't think of a better name for that. I don't know why, but purple and a bright green make me think zombies, so that's what we went with. I'm excited for that one.
That is a good looking bait. So one of the things I'm excited about with this bait, guys, is obviously it's a paddle tail, but you can rig it vertical and horizontal. It's very customizable.
Now you and I both like tinkering on a rough day of fishing when the fish are being picky. I like to play around with my baits just to see if something different is going to work a little bit better. And I have this one in my mind since you brought it up. I mean, even that's just a little bit of a different change in the water. That
it's just a profile change, and I mean that is so important.
Yeah, profile's huge when it comes to crappie fishing. Now you have days crappie fishing where you can take a blade of grass and put it on a jig and put it in front of them, and they're going to hit it. But on those days that they're going to be lethargic, you need a bait that you can hold in the water column. See those little tails moving nonstop? I hope that camera can catch it with the focus, but I'm not moving that bait at all, and them tails are going.
They're going back and forth.
You can hold that jig as perfectly still as you want in the water, right in front of a fish, and those subtle little movements, even if the water's moving and the boat's moving,
a heartbeat,
all that is going to do is just create a little bit of an instinct bite for those fish. And on some days it's a killer thing to do. So don't be afraid to cut up your baits, guys. Whether you buy them from me, you buy them from Walmart, if you're having a rough day of fishing, cut that sucker up, cut up a bass bait and give it a try.
And we've done what? We've done, just with this one bait now, we've had 3 different profile changes. All right, y'all, so anyway, that's making a jig. That's making a bait. I hope you guys found that interesting. I personally found it super interesting. I've never been around it, but you know, that's where the handmade comes into these handmade jigs. You guys can see there's a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. So
we pour around 4 or 5 million crappie plastics a year, and you guys seen the process. That means we're touching the bait 4 or 5 million times twice minimum, let alone the time it takes to sit there and pluck them all off, put them in the bags. And there's a lot of work that goes into this. But yeah, we definitely are very proud to have it. We are very thankful to grow in this industry. And you care if I mention the website?
No, you got the banner in the back.
So if you guys want this exact bait, we're probably not going to release this exact bait for probably another week or two. I don't know when he's going to release this video, but we do have our standard Crappie King, the lure that built the business. But that's available at differentbreedlures.com. Here's our packaging. I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but just Google Different Breed Lures, will pop right up. Find us on Facebook. This young man also uses our products as well. He can attest to how well they work, and I'm sure there are more of his videos up to come as well. But it's pretty neat having him here. It's pretty neat to be introduced to y'all. And this is our shop. It's dirty right now, but y'all are more than welcome to come back and see it again. But we have another bait too. You might have to come down. If this does well for you, you might have to come back down when we release the next bait as well. But
and remember, guys, you can use my promo code down below, TotalAngler10, and get 10% off your order too.
You know what? Let's go ahead and change that to Total Angler 20, and we'll give them 20% off.
20%, guys. You heard it here. 20% off your orders. Different breed lures. We're gonna catch fish tomorrow.
We've also joined into a lot more bait and tackle stores this year. Before y'all order from us, check your local bait and tackle store. Look for that pretty yellow and black packaging. If they got it in your store, buy it from them. Help your local mom and pop shops. If they don't have it, introduce us to them, and we're more than happy to sell to you guys online as well. So just thank you, and any bit of support we get is wonderful.
All right, y'all, that's gonna do it. We're gonna catch fish tomorrow. As always, if you don't mind, hit that like button. It sure does help the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing. Check through our playlist. We got a bunch of different videos. As always, y'all, appreciate the view. We'll see y'all in the next one.
You are a different breed. I gotta add that in there.
You gotta have that.